Okay, here we are. Hello, fellow Shadow Priest, howdy. Patch 10.1.5.50469. That's where we're at right now. And it feels like Blizzard is doing a great job of just changing the game frequently and keeping us on our toes, giving us new spellbooks. And even if that means there's some crazy OP stuff for like a week or two, I think it's still ultimately good. It's fun. We get to play a new version, new style, and move around with some of our talents here. So everyone's playing Dark Ascension now and Mind Spike, and basically Dark Ascension is going to increase your non-periodic shadow damage by 25%. So that's going to be Mind Games, Mind Blast, Mind Spike, Shadow Word Death, and also Shadow Fiend, I believe, if I'm not wrong. PvEers can correct me on that. But basically the reason why people find this build to be exciting is because Mind Trauma is now a lot easier to maintain. You're going to steal 4% haste per stack, stacking up to 6 times, 3 times on one target. So you can have 2 people with 3 stacks each, and that is going to give you about 24% haste, because 6 times 4 is 24, and I graduated from elementary school, so I know that now. And you can really also get a full full 3 stacks rather, from a Void Torrent. So 1 full Void Torrent gives you 3 stacks, and then 3 Mind Spikes gives you stacks on someone else, and that lasts for 20 seconds. So if you ever notice that it's about to, like, oh, I have 3 stacks and they're falling off in 1 second, even if you don't have a Mind Spike Insanity, you can just whip out a quick Mind Spike, and people don't really kick it. Like, it hits for nothing, so I feel like it's fine to just cast. And then obviously once you have your Mind Spike Insanity, that'll just be an added benefit. Every time you use your burst, you're gonna add to your haste, which is really fun. So those are the ways those talents interact. Now also, if you're playing Idol of N'Zoth, just be aware that it'll break CC, so it'll break Polymorph, it'll break the or any breakable CC, so Freezing Trap, Blind, anything where damage breaks, Hex, it's going to break a lot of stuff. Also, thank you to Zandalore, who has just subscribed to the tier 1. I appreciate you, my friend. We are streaming right now live on Twitch, trying to make a video to cover these talents, so you can kind of move things around. I even like sometimes playing no Shadow Crash and then 2 points into Mastermind, and it feels like you get really big crits. I hit like 180k Mind Spike. Our crit is super low, so it might not be the best thing, and also against Holy Pallies, if they're spam like denouncing you, you might not want to play that, but I have found that to be pretty fun when we were playing some Destro S-play. Now we can talk a little bit about the rotation, and it's going to be pretty similar to what I put up in my guide, which is essentially to dot all 3 targets, Shadow Fiend, PI, and then Void Eruption, but in this case it'll be Dark Ascension. So we can take a look at some games here. This is just one little clip of, you know, I don't even have Dark Ascension up. We get a full Hodge onto the healer. I'm going to dot him up, cast a Mind Games, Shadow Word Death, and we kill someone 100-0 in a Hodge without having to even, like, you know, do anything else. This is obviously like Destro lock damage, Paladin damage. Didn't even cast my Mind Spike Insanity or anything. So this spec always feels like it has consistent damage. I always have 3 stacks of Mind Trauma, and we're gonna try to find you a proper proper game. So let's check out some opening rotation right here. So I'm getting into this arena. We're playing against Windwalker, DK. I chose to play Shadow Crash because, like I said, Paladies can make your crit kind of suck if they're denouncing you a lot. So I'll dot the DK, dot the Windwalker, move out, dot the Paladin this way. Now I'm in the middle between the Paladin and my Warlock. They want to go my Warlock, so I'm going to be like the kind of separator guy. I'm going to be in the middle and just try to like pester him all game. So I put up 3 dots on everybody. I Shadow Fiended, and then I pop Power Infusion, Dark Ascension, and then I Mind Games the Pally here because it's going to buff my Mind Games with Dark Ascension. He's going to have the Aura Mastery up and Wall for this, so he's not going to take too much. But then I'll dump a Mind Spike Insanity. I'll do 1 more just to get another stack. I think that I probably shouldn't have done that, and I should have just slung a Void Torrent. And as soon as this Aura Mastery ends, I'll also silence him. So we get the silence here, and then I know that he's going to bubble, so I shoot the MD. Boom, get the bubble off, but he's at the pillar already playing smart, so we're not able to kill him there. But in one go, basically all I did was Dark Ascension, Mind Games, Devouring Plague, Mind Spike Insanity, Void Torrent, and that was like my burst combo. So I really think it's great if you can link your damage together. Like if you can drop a Mind Games into a Mind Spike, into a Void Torrent, it's just all that stuff feels pretty meaningful, and all the spells kind of hit for the same when you like look at the breakdown. Like your Mind Games can crit over 100k, your Mind Spike can crit for over 100k, and then your Void Torrent obviously is your last source of meaningful damage. I'm not playing the big torrent as well, so I'm just going to focus on getting the other combos off. I'll pop Dark Ascension here while they're kind of at the pillar, but it might be a mistake because they're so far away. Just kidding. We shoot a Shadow Crash in. I'll stun the Monk. We Hodge the Pally, and then I'm just going to go in, redot the Paladin. I've got a Mind Spike Insanity ready, so he's going to get coiled. Mind Spike Insanity, Mind Spike Insanity, Shadow Word Death, and we just finished him off. So it's just like good, consistent damage. And this game wasn't very long. We did 2 stuns, we did 2 silences, and we had Dark Ascension for both of them because I was playing Driven to Madness. Now, even though they weren't attacking me, Driven to Madness, you still take a lot of passive damage throughout the game, just getting like tabbed, and I think even maybe sometimes when you get CC'd, like they'll attack you for a second, and that will reduce the cooldown of your Dark Ascension. And even if it just pushes it down to that 45-second window, if you knock 15 seconds off your Dark Ascension, which is ultimately being attacked 5 times over the course of a minute, which is pretty likely, you'll pretty much always have Dark Ascension for your big go. It's going to give you a lot of Insanity, and also just, yeah, that extra burst factor on your Mind Games and your Mind Spike. Now, the other fun part about this spec that we have not talked about is when you're getting trained as a Shadow Priest and you get interrupted on your Shadow Tree, Mind Spike is technically Shadow Frost. So you could actually get kicked on Mind Games and then just instantly start spamming out Mind Spikes. Now, this is also good if you're trying to maintain your dots on someone. You get kicked on VT, you're playing Mental Decay, you can Mind Spike to refresh your dots. So let's check out another video. Someone says, would you play the Crit Ascension talent? Unfortunately, they nerfed this by a lot. So it used to be 20%, now it's only 10, and our crit already sucks, so I just feel like the talent is better spent elsewhere. Okay, here we go. We're facing Rogue Boomkin, aka like the best comp of the game last patch. So let's see how we hold into this. Instantly gonna stun the Paladin, stun the Rogue. Basically, if you're playing with a Holy Pally, which is kind of the meta now, whoever the Pally is closest to, he stuns, and then Priest can typically get someone else. So I'll pop my Dark Ascension, pop a Mind Games, get the Rogue to Cloak. I'm cloned on my CDs here, which is a little unfortunate. I think my #1 goal is to dump out some of these Mind Spikes, get some Haste, Mind Trauma stacks onto Sam, and then maybe shoot at a Void Torrent to Trill. My Void Torrent gets chastised, unfortunately. Get Vanish from the Rogues. We've already got Trinket, Vanish, and Cloak. Very good for us. I want to get more Mind Trauma stacks, so I feel like you should always have at least 3 up, and then ideally you have it on both targets. Fortunately, this team is very good, and they're going to love to CC me, so I need to try to play away. I'm trying to play far from clone, but ultimately just getting CC'd a lot here. Locke is doing some crazy shit with the ports. I'm going to grip him out of this too. Give him some flash heals. Big heal there, 100k heal. Dot everybody up. We have CC for the Priest pack, so I'm going to CC Sea-Doo. He has Fade. I have to fake it though. Really sketchy. Fake the Fade. Stun him here. Into a Fear. Need to dot Trill. He uses his like 5th Vanish of the game. The game just started. He's already vanished 5 times. I'll silence CD if I get in line. Ultimately, just want to get off some damage here. I have Dark Ascension active for 11 seconds, so need to really spam out some Mind Spikes. Really bad that I get double feared. DR on the Pally at least. Dark Ascension's up to Fade, and I haven't casted a single Mind Spike, so definitely a bad value there. Casting my first Void Torrent. It's fully channeled. There we go. There's my 3 stacks. Now I can try to get some onto the Boomkin, potentially. Have a Fear out of this as well. Shadow Fury, big damage. Mind Spike, getting stacks. Well, I already have the stacks because we're just maintaining them. Rage Trinket this, do some damage. Anytime you Rage Trinket, that's generally bad for your teams. It means I won't have Trinket for swap. We have 3 stacks on Sam now, keeping him dotted. Fading, so I don't get cloned. He actually reflects the clone, insane. I'm off clone DR in 3, so I need to be careful. PI Nozom. Trill vanished for the 7th time this game. Void Torrent onto Sam. It's going to refresh my 3 stacks as well. I pop a Dark Ascension while I'm really far away, so I can't get kicked. The only disadvantage is I'm not really in the fight right now. Fear them both to set up here. I have Fade, but I'm going to get cloned here for sure. Yeah, I couldn't get it off in time. So sad. Plenty of followers in the stream right now. Thank you guys for following. So our next objective is just same thing as always. WoW PvP, double stun. We stun one person, we stun the other guy, and then we try to win. Unfortunately, I don't line anything up with the stun. We get the Panda here. I will actually maybe look for a DR Fear as well, just to keep him behind. Try to MD my Paladin from some CC. Need to get out and start doing some damage. Rogue's in the middle of the map, kind of where we want him to be. Get his cloak. Trying to heal my Paladin friend. Everyone's taking so much damage. I'm getting cheap shot into fear, into clone, into gouge. Like, it's just so much CC to deal with. Against a team that isn't spam CCing you, if you have dots on all three and mind trauma on like 2 people, you're going to be topping DPS like every game. Slinging a Void Torrent here to get some stacks. Boom, got him. So now if I could spam some mind spikes onto Trill, that would be sick for our team. I'm the only one with defensive cooldown, so that's why I'm like kind of pushing up a little bit. Gets cloned really far. This is their push. Here we go. We've seen this before. Kidney shot, bomb. Can't stop the Boomkin, but I will mind games him, so maybe his damage heals people. I don't know. There's a swap. Okay, Trill has no cloak. Here we go. Dark Ascension. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Big damn, big damn. Now we see the Moonkin in a good spot. Ideal swap target. Mind Spike Insanity. Void Torrent. No kick. Gonna get gouged. Fuck. So that's Guardian. On this guy, we immediately should swap to Trill here. I'm kinnied. Fuck. Gonna get clone now, too. Fuck. Watching the clone. I can fade it. Fade this one. Reclones me with no problem. Saw it coming. That's almost like they're a pro team. God damn it. Trying to get an MD off. Can't. Chastised. So much CC. Furious Sea-Doo. I stun Trill. Bursting him in the open. Get the Mind Spike. Dotting everyone up. Void Torrent. Get the full stacks. Notice I let every Void Torrent go full. Even if it's like my dots fall off or they're getting out of line, I just let it go full to get the haste. You're literally giving yourself like half of PI every time you do that. 3 stacks on Trill, 3 stacks on Sam. I'm nuking, trying to maintain them on both. Getting bashed into a clone. God damn it, I hate being cloned. I hate being cloned. I play Trauma instead of Siphon because it gives you so much extra damage. I think I could have dropped Catharsis here because they weren't really hitting me this game. Dark Ascension going on Sam here. Mind Spike Insanity. 3 stacks on him there. Void Torrent. Probably should have went for a Mind Games first. He just pushes back my Void Torrent every time. Dotting Sea-Doo. Dotting Trill. Feared me. Emptied my Pally though. He's in a beam now. Shit. We're going down. This is where we need to do anything to live. So I'm coming over to peek my Warlock for a shield. Coming into Fear the Rogue on the duel. Every little thing you do matters in these moments. He's at 1% HP. Big flash heal. 74k. Everything you do matters. Our Pally's gouged into a kidney, into a clone, into the most like never-ending CC. One more flash heal on Nozom. Void Torrent this guy. Cancel it. Silence the Boomkin. Trying to do anything we can to live. And hopefully just end up killing these guys because they're being really aggressive right now. Overall, like, my burst is getting completely annihilated this game. Every time I pop Dark Ascension, I'm just cloned into a gouge, into a kidney or something. So we're popping off on the Boomkin here. I'm going to fade his clone. Trying to stay aggressive. One more heal onto Nozom. We get Guardian onto the Rogue. We get Swap from the Boomkin. And then we actually kill the Rogue while the Priest trying to heal the Druid. So crazy game. But definitely, like, was able to come out top damage even though I was CC'd the whole time. You know, like, there's definitely a lot of value in the spec. I'm trying to get more content in Shuffle. I keep going extremely negative, which maybe leads me to believe that it's not the best Shuffle build, but it is really good, especially in these, like, caster comps, I feel like. Alright guys, I do have one more game for you just as a little update. I did some Rogue Shadow Priest, and my god, that comp seems like OP. Because we barely lost any games and just able to do a lot of like random swaps and keep everyone dotted with the Rogue stunning everybody up. So let's take a look at, you know, how that comp looks with the spec. It feels really, really strong being able to get those Mind Spike burst combos off. Mind Games, Void Torrent, and the stun. Just a lot of freedom for the SP here, especially in a caster meta. I feel like you're going to kind of be able to walk all over teams. So in the opener here, I line the Priest so I don't get in combat. Rogue gets a sap on the healer. I'm going to go ahead and dot the SP, dot the Boomy as soon as he comes out, and slip swap my dots. I see how far away my Rogue is from the Paladin, so it's my responsibility to go in there and CC. I'm going to fade so I don't get stunned or silenced, fear the Paladin off my silence, and then I'm going to go ahead Dark Ascension, Mind Games. This is your burst combo. Mind Games after Dark Ascension, Devouring Plague, and then Mind Spike Insanity or Void Torrent would be my next best option here. So I'll fully channel a Void Torrent. That's going to give me 3 stacks of my Mind Trauma, and then you'll see I'll quickly Mind Spike the Druid 3 times, and now I have 6 stacks of Mind Trauma. Guys, that's 24% haste plus my PI was up in the beginning as well. So I'm like super juiced on haste. I'm not even killing the Scyphene because I just don't care, and we're like killing the Paladin in the midst of this setup here. Now I do have a Silence, and I also have Mass Dispel, so I'm going to MD the bubble here. Now I'm just going to gouge the Paladin. I'll redot the Paladin, silence him. We rip the Boomy, and apply my dots to the, rep the SP rather, and then apply my dots back to the Boomkin, Void Torrent, silence Paladin. Then I'll just shoot a Mind Blast into death, and we win the game. So I probably, actually one note that I will say is that anytime you have a Mind Spike Insanity and Mind Blast is off cooldown, I think unless the Mind Blast proc, unless you don't have the Mind Blast proc rather, I think you want to Mind Spike Insanity over casting a Mind Blast because it generates the same amount of Insanity and deals twice as much damage. So like right here, I thought I stole the Mind Blast proc, but when I cast it, I'm going to hit it for, I don't even know, what was that, like a 30k Mind Blast? I think I would have probably done like a 50k Mind Spike. So that's just one little piece of advice, is that Mind Spike Insanity should kind of take your filler rotation over on Mind Blast. Before we were using Mind Blast to generate Yogg stacks and Apparitions. Now we're not playing the Apparition build and we're not playing Yogg Saron. So we're going to deal just basically a ton of damage, you know, with that Mind Spike Insanity and just keeping up that Mind Trauma, man. I had 6 stacks. I was juiced up. I was ready to go. We had everyone dotted. I did more damage than the other team combined, and we walked away with the W. So definitely feel free to give this video a like, give it a subscribe, and then stay tuned for some more content. I did just break my foot, so I'll be streaming pretty much full time, as much as I can handle sitting down with my foot down, for the next 6 to 8 weeks. So stay tuned for that. Appreciate the support, everybody. Have a good one, and we'll see you in the next video. We'll try to put out a shuffle guide soon.